the Egyptian press.
Hi to you, Cyril, and hi to everybody. I'm going to start out with Al-Masri Al-Yum, and it has a piece which is saying, we can go to it straight away, the headline, that Morsi's ousting is, and I quote, by the order of the people. And there we can see those people, anti-Morsi protesters, expressing their relief and joy, Cyril.
And you're also looking at one of the main dailies, another one, Al-Ahram.
Al-Ahram is the biggest circulation daily in Egypt, over 1 million readers. And it's saying that the events that we've seen do not amount to a coup d'etat. That's its argument. President Mohammed Morsi was removed in a revolution, the second Egyptian revolution. The legitimacy of the will of the people explains his departure. The paper is saying that Morsi rejected proposals to go to Turkey and to Qatar. 300 Muslim Brotherhood members are under arrest, according to Al-Ahram. Now, I've also looked at the opposition paper Al-Tahrir. The columnist there, Ibrahim Isa, who's one of the leading figures of the opposition in the country. He's an anti-Islamist journalist, and this is what he's saying. The revolution is a victory for Islam. It is a victory for real Islam. It is a victory against terrorism and reactionary forces.
Now, you mentioned the Muslim Brotherhood. They also conveyed their message through the press.
Well, they have a website of their own, a portal, in fact, a news portal, which you can go to in English, the Freedom and Justice Party newspaper. The piece I'm actually going to show you is in Arabic, and it is arguing there that the remnants of the pro-Mubarak camp have succeeded in overthrowing the Egyptian revolution of the 25th of January 2011, but events are not a continuation of that. They are, in fact, a counter-revolution. And, of course, the message from the Muslim Brotherhood is very much still in standoff mode, still confrontational. It's saying pro-Mubarak forces are in cahoots with the police, hence the burning down of Muslim Brotherhood headquarters. The goal is to incite hatred against the Muslim Brotherhood.
Now, a message from Syria's President Bashar al-Assad. He weighed in with his view.
Well, this is in the Egypt Independent, which I said is the English language version of Al-Masri Al-Yum. Now, that piece, this interview there, you can see the headline that political Islam is being defeated in Egypt. Now, that story is actually taken from Al-Tarwa, which is the Syrian paper. Assad gave an exclusive interview to Al-Tarwa, which means revolution, in fact. And he is saying, this is a defeat for political Islam. And, of course, that's all to do with the fact that Morsi has been one of his major opponents, a vocal critic of Assad. And Syrian state television has been following events in Egypt in full, all the protests and demonstrations.
I know there's also a cartoon that you want to tell us about. It's in the British paper, The Independent.
Well, we can go to that straight away to lighten up a little bit and take a bit of a distance. Now, the cartoon shows Morsi as the Sphinx in Gaza. That's not in Gaza, in Giza, yes, on the outskirts of Cairo. Now, an army officer is holding a gun behind his back and showing a dog lead saying, "It's time for walkies." So that's the way of saying that Morsi is on his way out. Morsi looking very grumpy and grudging there. Of course, when I look at that, I kind of think that there's a whole question of the worry of violence that we've seen already, and will that continue? Let me go to another cartoon, again in the British press, and it's in the Times of London. And this is very much a lest we forget message. It's an attack at the United States. Cyril, if you look at it closely, what you can see in that cartoon is Obama walking like an Egyptian. He's slipping a few dollars to the generals, isn't he? If we remember that $1.3 billion in aid this year has gone to the Egyptian military. That's the second after Israel. And, of course, that cartoon there pointing to the hypocrisy of the good old US of A. And we will doubtless be hearing more about that.
And the United States refusing to call this a coup d'etat, as our Washington correspondent explained earlier on in this edition. Nicholas Rushworth with the Press Review. Thank you very much. A reminder of the news headlines this hour. Celebrations continue in Cairo.